Sup Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers, it's Noname, back with another Giants update video. So really the Giants made two signings in the past couple of days. I didn't cover one of them because I really just viewed the guy as a depth player. But this is one I really want to talk about. Austin Johnson. This was reported earlier today at around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Giants agreed to a contract with defensive lineman from the Tennessee Titans, Austin Johnson. Another one-year contract, keeping in, the pattern and the terms that they've been doing with almost every other free agent. If it isn't a 3-year contract for the kind of a little bit more bigger name guys, it's a 1-year contract for guys to see if they can work out for the team, low risk, high reward, or just to be depth on the line. And this is a move when looking at it initially, you look at this, you see the 1-year deal, you see Austin Johnson. He was a second round pick 4 years ago in 2016, but then you also see how he was used at Tennessee, and you think, automatically you would think, this is a depth move. But at the same time, it's like we have depth at the defensive line. It is our strongest part of defense because it has the strongest, trio of starters there, and also really good backup players behind them. We got Leonard Williams, Dalvin Tomilson, and Dexter Lawrence. Right behind them, we have B.J. Hill, R.J. McIntosh, and I think Chris Slayton, or Slayton might have been cut, I'm not sure. Whatever the case is, now you have an Austin Johnson to add into the mix there, and you have 6 to 7 defensive tackles, all of them, relatively good. The starting trio, once again, probably one of the best defensive lines in the league, specifically that part of the defense, and then you have good backups. But then there's also the question of now the roster on that position is getting kind of filled. It's getting a little buffed up. It's getting a little too much. And we know with the new CBA, when the 17 games kick in, which is not going to be this year, but when the 17 games do kick in, each team I think will be having a bigger roster than 53-man roster. So maybe Giants are planning to experiment with that in the future. But as of right now, you don't want to have too many defensive tackles at that position. For all we know, this guy might not even make the current 53-man roster. He could be brought in here to see if he can, and he probably would not be able to beat us and the guys we have. But the reason I bring all of this up was because the specific defensive line position that he plays is nose tackle. Before I get into that, his career statistics are 82 tackles, 45 solo, 2.5 sacks, 5 passes defended, and he had 5 tackles with 3 solo and 1 pass defended in the playoffs. So just by his stats alone, you could tell, once again, he was a rotational piece, backup, depth player. But he played nose tackle, most of his time in Tennessee. Now, Giants have tagged Leonard Williams. It's no secret that almost everybody except for Giants management either wants Leonard Williams gone or on the cheapest contract possible to get him on, because he's not worth keeping for $16-17 million a year, which is what the franchise tag will be giving him. 2, the best player on our defensive line, and probably the best player on our defense, it's up for debate with a James Bradbury there, was a Dalvin Tomilson, who plays nose tackle for this defense. Now then, he sometimes switches roles with Dexter Lawrence. They switch inside and outside at DT, depending on the situation and whatnot. But for the most part, Dalvin Tomilson, who is still on his rookie contract, drafted in 2017, I believe, in the second round from Alabama, Dalvin Tomilson is by far our best defensive tackle. Leonard Williams is a second. Leonard Williams has versatility on him, but Tomilson is just so good at what he does that there's a reason that Dave Gettleman kept him over from the old regime, because Gettleman didn't draft him. He was a draft pick from Jerry Reese. I believe Tomilson is one of maybe 2 or 3 draft picks from Jerry Reese that are still on board. It's him, Evan Ingram, and maybe somebody else on there, but as far as I know, it's just those 2. So, Tomlinson, his contract is going to be up soon, and he is going to, deservedly so, demand a lot of money. Unlike somebody like a Leonard Williams, who wants a lot of money but hasn't done anything to show that he deserves it. Tomlinson, for the past 3-4 years, has been the most consistent player on the team, and like I said, last year was the best player on the defense and was consistently showing up every game, so he deserves the money he's going to be commanding. But the Giants might not be able to afford Dalvin Tomilson because of the franchise tag on Leonard Williams. which brings us back to square one, as that a lot of people want him gone except for management for some reason. Now, I've been on record defending Leonard Williams at times, you know, kind of playing devil's advocate for him, saying, listen, last year when he came on the team, he was double teamed 64% of the times, which allowed for guys like a Dalvin Tomilson to shine and show what they can do. But there has been rumors going around that Tomilson might be traded from the Giants. Alright, it's been talked about on several channels. It's definitely an idea that's been floated out about there, and logistically, it would make sense to trade Dalvin Tomilson because we won't be able to afford the contract that he would demand. Also, logistically, we need to get rid of Leonard Williams. Like, this guy's creating so many problems just by having a 1-year franchise tag for the team. We could have probably, and I don't like to get into, I guess you could say, like scenarios that don't happen, because what happened in the past has happened. But if we did not tag Leonard Williams, who knows what other players we could have gotten in free agency? Who knows what we could have done with that extra $16 million? We probably could have extended Tomlinson this year. We probably could have maybe even extended Saquon this year before the running back market explodes. There's definitely a good amount of possibilities out there if we didn't tag Leonard Williams. We could have even just offered him that 4-year, like $11-12 million deal instead of tagging him, but we don't know what went behind closed doors. Listen, the point is, this guy that we brought in for a depth player, you know, on the surface, it could just be a depth move. But because he plays specifically nose tackle, and we only have like 2 players on the team that play specifically nose tackle, that being Dalton Thomason and maybe RJ McIntosh, but it's really just Thomason because everybody else can play the 3 technique, they can play outside a little. It brings up the question of whether or not the team is looking to trade him. And if the Giants trade Dalvin Tomilson, that's going to be one of the stupidest moves they ever made, because you tag somebody like Leonard Williams. He's the defensive tackle you need to trade, not Dalvin Tomilson, not the guy that the Giants actually drafted, kept. You know, he's like homegrown. They kept him here. He progressed. He's now one of the top 15 defensive tackles in the league. Best player in your defense. You don't trade him. You keep him, and he's been nothing but a good player, both inside the locker room, outside the locker room, on the field, whatever the case is. There's no bad publicity with Dalvin Tomilson. There's no type of antics. He's been nothing but a good player. And if they trade him instead of trying to trade somebody like a Leonard Williams, it will absolutely blow me away. Like I said, that could not happen. I could just be looking way too deep into it. But it is interesting that this guy plays specifically nose tackle, and they brought him in on a part of the locker room which doesn't really need any extra help. But let me know what you guys think. What is your opinion on this? Do you guys think it's just a depth move, just somebody to get in there to fill out, the practice squad, maybe see if he makes a 53-man roster, or is it something deeper? That's it for now. Make sure you guys stay safe, wash your hands for 20 seconds and whatnot. I'm out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Put your comments down below. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. Until next time, I'm out. Yeah.